Our dispatch was notified of a possible plane crash in the 1400 block of Elder Road. Once our units arrived on scene, we found what appeared to be a small aircraft that was fully involved in flames at the time. First arriving units got there, and with the fire rescue and the Oconee Emergency Services and the Oconee County Sheriff's Office, and we located the fuselage of what we appeared to be a plane, or what appears to be a plane. At this time, unfortunately, there are fatalities. There are multiple fatalities in this crash. The only injuries that we know of in this incident, or that we have, are the persons that were on the plane. There's a debris field that's approximately 1 mile or less, a little over a half a mile from the crash location. And at this time, we still don't have any identification on the passengers of the plane. Currently, we're working with the NTSB and the FAA. We're still working on their investigation to try to get those people identified and notified, their families notified. And also, the coroner's office here in Oconee County is going to be taking the deceased persons to the GBI Crime Lab in Atlanta. And I'll open it up for any questions.
Can you talk about where the plane was flying from and flying to?
We don't have that at this time. Still, the NTSB and the FAA are following up with getting that information. Again, the debris field that we have, it's hard to identify parts of the plane, so we're in the process of still doing that at this time.
It was raining a lot today. Do you guys believe weather was a factor in this at all?
Don't know. I don't want to speculate as to what the cause of the plane coming down was, but we have had some significant weather incidents going on here in the county this afternoon.
Have you guys talked to any neighbors in the area that may have seen or heard anything?
We do have some witnesses, but we're still, again, this is very young in the investigation. We're still talking to those people to find out what they saw, and trying to get that information compiled for the NTSB and the FAA.
Can you explain where the plane exactly went down, and whether there were homes nearby or anything like that?
There are several homes nearby that we know of right now. We don't think that any of those homes were actually struck by any of the debris, but the main part of the debris field is in a heavily wooded area, approximately about a quarter mile off of the main road here, and it's probably about 500 or 600 yards away from the nearest residence.
How far back would you say the debris back in the plane stuff?
It's about a quarter mile off of the main road, here off of Elder Road, and about 500 yards away from the nearest residence.
Can you talk about how many people were on the plane? I know you said multiple fatalities, but just can we get a specific number?
We believe there's 3 people at this time.
Are there any survivors?
No, sir.
What's your next step?
Next step is we're waiting on the NTSB and the FAA to come down and give guidance as to how to process the wreckage itself. The bodies of the deceased are being removed at this time. They're being transported to the GBI Crime Lab for autopsy and identification. And then the NTSB will be in with the FAA in order to recover the wreckage and try to do their investigation on the aircraft itself. We're not aware of that at this time yet. It's still, again, very infant as far as the investigation goes. They're compiling all that information at this time that we know of.
Have you guys been on the scene to collect any evidence or anything yet today?
Yes, sir. We were on the scene shortly after the plane was reportedly crashed, and within minutes of that thing, I mean, I just want to pretty much, emphasize the fact that our fire rescue and first responders here in Oconee County are very good at what they do. They responded very rapidly to the scene. Rescue attempts were made, but because of the damage and because of the fire, unfortunately, they were unsuccessful.
Any road closures that people need to know about?
Currently, this time, we don't have any road closures due to the debris being far enough away from the road. We do have that scene secured at this time, so we're holding that scene until the FAA can get on site to where they can conduct their investigation. But, as far as road closures locally, no.
What about the people who live nearby? Are they allowed in their homes? Were they ever evacuated?
They were not evacuated. Again, it was not close enough to a residence to where they would have to be evacuated. They do have access to their residences at this time.
We know that air traffic control lost contact. Were they who notified you, or was it a witness?
No, actually, it was called in by witnesses locally that told us that they thought that they had saw a plane crash. Just that they had saw a plane crash, or that they thought that a plane went down.
The plane started coming apart on the property outline, a couple miles to the left, east of the road. So they were trying to do that thing to breathe. And the units right from the house.
Okay.
Do you know if there was a black box on the plane or not at this point?
I would assume that most aircraft do have that reporting device, but I'm not sure of that information. I'm not a pilot. I'm not an aviation expert, but most aircraft do have those kind of technology on board. I'm sure the NTSB and the FAA are going to work to get that taken care of.
Have you ever had to deal with a situation specifically like this?
No, ma'am. This is as far as we know, this is our first plane crash in my time here in Oconee County. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you guys very much.